All right, hello everyone. Hello, hello. It is 3:54 on Wednesday, May the 10th. We've made it. We're halfway through the week. Hooray, you're doing such a good job. Yesterday was an incredibly warm day. It was the first day in the 90s here in Macon. We had a cold front, a backdoor cold front that moved through that has brought the humidity slightly down and temperatures also slightly down. There's really no cold air behind it. It's more of like a cool front. So temperatures right now across the region are into the mid to upper 80s. We do have 190 out there. There's 91 in Montezuma, but it is generally a little bit cooler than it was yesterday. And this front that moved through, which is bringing us a little bit of this more cooler weather, is going to be kind of the spawning point for some storms each afternoon, really for the rest of the work week. And it does come with a risk for some severe potential as well tomorrow. So if you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere, come say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how your life is living, how you're all doing. Love to have a little chat with you every time I do a little live stream. Let me see if I can find it as I kind of pull up the Facebook as well. Here we go. Yeah, if you're watching us on Facebook anywhere, just come say hi in the comments. Let me know how your life is living, how you're doing. Love to have a little chat. So here's some of the temperatures out here. Find out where you're watching from, how hot it is today. It does feel a little bit better, in my opinion, at least, than it does yesterday. It isn't as sticky outside, but it still is definitely still a warm day today. I'm trying to share this on my Facebook page as well. All right, that should be working. So here's some of these temps right now. Still going on. Hi, Valerie. How are you? Thanks for watching from Warner Robins. Hope you're doing well. In Warner Robins, it's currently 86 degrees, so pretty nice. 87 in Macon right now, 86 in Sparta, 87 in Perry, 85 in McRae, 84 in Mount Vernon. So it's a little bit cooler today than it was yesterday, as we did have this cold front that moved through, which is now stalled out. You can kind of see kind of how the clouds here are stalling out. There's a low pressure that's kind of been spinning in between Texas and Louisiana. That's kind of not allowing the front to move any further, and it's actually going to kind of retroactively push it back further our direction. It's really going to be kind of the spawning point for some storms each afternoon. Tomorrow, we have a little bit tonight that we could see. Tomorrow, definitely, and then on Friday as well, we do see some afternoon storms looking like they're going to be firing up. So it's almost like we're into our summertime pattern, but most of the rain looks to be west of Macon for the next few afternoons, and we won't climb back into the 90s until we get towards Mother's Day weekend. So here's really the plan for the rest of tonight. We'll have the clouds thickening as that front and low pressure begin to move more towards us. Overnight low still a mild 63 degrees. Our average morning low this time of year is usually in the upper 50s, and we've been well above that for the past few. And so as we're kind of planning out Mother's Day, I know it's kind of the big next thing with the weekend and celebrating mom. Thursday and Friday, temperature is still going to be in the 80s. We do have a few PM storms that'll fire up on Friday afternoon. Again, it'll be very hit or miss. I think, again, mostly west of Macon. On Saturday, kind of gets out of here. It's warm still. We're back into the 90s with a lot more sun, 90 degrees. We still do have a small rain chance on Saturday, but most of it will be dry. The more activity will be popping up on Sunday, on actual Mother's Day, where it's going to be very warm. The high will be 93 degrees, and we'll get those pop-up PM storms. Again, very hit or miss with who sees the rain. It'll be a very summertime pattern that we're kind of going to get accustomed to here as we get closer to summer. Hi, Gwendolyn. How are you? Watching from Augusta. Wow. How are you doing today? Hi, Travis. How are you? Thanks for being here. Yeah, do you guys have any weekend plans, any fun things going on? Because it looks very hot this weekend, kind of how it was yesterday. So here's one of our models. This is showing that we could get that stalled front is showing that we could get a few pop-up storms really along the Georgia and Alabama line. This is at 7 o'clock tonight. And they start to shift eastward, but not getting a lot of rain. So we could have some showers and storms, especially confined very far south and west. Is at 10 o'clock. So most of us are dry for tonight, but those clouds will be increasing. It's really throughout the day tomorrow when that stalled front is really going to fire up a lot of the activity. Again, it'll be mostly west of Macon. This is at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Most of the storms out over Alabama, they'll kind of start to shift eastward. This is actually the latest models that just have updated. So then this is at 1 a.m. early Friday morning. You can see some of those storms and some down here towards Sumter, Crisp County, starting to pop up. This is actually one of the latest models that really backed it off about an hour ago. This kind of bulk of the rain right here was shifted maybe a little bit further more towards the western counties. So that's some good news that at least this model is kind of showing that this is going to set up further west. However, the Storm Prediction Center has put out a risk for some severe weather for our southwest counties: Taylor County, Macon County, Dooley, Crisp County, Sumter County, all under a 1 right now for severe weather tomorrow on a scale out of 1 to 5. The primary threats, if we do see an isolated storm or two turn severe, will be for damaging winds up to about 50 to 60 miles per hour and large hail as possible. Not really enough shear in the atmosphere for any kind of rotation or tornadoes, but the hail could get large at times if the updrafts are strong enough to really produce a lot of the hailstorms to be forming. So I want to maybe show you a few different models here as we're kind of looking at for tomorrow with that risk for some severe weather. So this is a separate model. This is showing for the rest of tonight. Again, could get a few isolated showers. Most of us will be dry. And then here's throughout the day tomorrow. See, this is a different model. Still trying to show up some storms here. Thursday afternoon, tomorrow evening, and then kind of not seeing a lot. So most of it will be confined west of Macon. I think areas to the east probably won't see any rain for tonight or into tomorrow, maybe even into Friday as well. I don't think some of these models do go out far enough into Friday that we could get, see, this is Friday afternoon. Again, a few storms kind of firing up here. So really every afternoon, we do have some chances for rain, but it's going to be very summertime, very hit or miss with exactly who sees those heavy downpours or there's showers out there. Not everyone gets hit with the heavy downpours of the rain. Checking the live stream once again. Yeah, definitely come and say hello if you have any questions, any plans. I think it'll be nice to kind of have a weekend with some warmth like this. You know, you got any pool plans, any summertime plans? It might be a nice kind of intro to summer here, because next week it will begin to cool back down into the upper 80s. However, now that we're getting near summer, we're getting into the mid portions of May here, the sun angle is really high in the sky. So if you are outside for extended periods of time, of course, you do want to wear the sunscreen. I always laugh at it because here I'm always talking about wearing sunscreen with our anchors, Amanda and Greg, and they always make fun of me for wearing the sunscreen. But if you're outside especially for multiple hours, you definitely want to kind of layer up so you don't get burnt, especially when the kids are out and running around, got any ball games. So definitely still a good idea to bring sunscreen for them as well, so they're not getting sunburned. Sunscreen is definitely a good thing, especially now that we're getting towards the summer months and that UV index is getting up to 9, 10. It takes 20 minutes or so for you to get a burn. So definitely sunscreen is a good thing. But again, pay attention to kind of the weather tomorrow evening, as we do have that risk for some severe weather. Again, the primary threat will be for damaging winds and some large hail, but tornadoes are not really a threat. So here's kind of how this pans out in our 10-day. Tomorrow, the winds will be a little breezy, gusting up to about 15 miles per hour as that front and low pressure begins to approach. And that gives that kind of spawn for some storms to be firing up, especially westwards of Macon tomorrow in the evening. 86 degrees, that risk for severe weather is tomorrow. On Friday, it's kind of copy-paste the forecast. We have most of the day will be dry during the morning, but then the storms fire up by the evening, also 86 degrees. So the next two won't be in the 90s. Then as we get towards Mother's Day weekend, we really warm up. Saturday looks to be the driest, really out of the next 10. 90 degrees, though. It'll be a hot day with lots of sun. Rain chances aren't 0, but most of it will be dry. Then Mother's Day, actually on Sunday, if you have any outdoor plans for mom, it will be a little hot one. 93 degrees, likely the warmest day out of the next 7. And then we'll get the pop-up storms again by the afternoon. Very hit or miss. And that's really kind of the same. We're going to be copying and pasting the forecast, but especially with the rain chances. All of next week, we have a risk for some scattered to isolated storms. 90 on Monday, 87 Tuesday, and then back down to 86 next Wednesday. So kind of up for the weekend in temperatures, then slightly back down for next week. So those rain chances really going to be the case. And as we get closer to summer, that's really copy paste the forecast every day. You know, the mid 90s, high heat and humidity, and rain chances every afternoon. So it's going to be very fun as we get towards summertime with that. But yeah, it's really what's going on here in the Weather Center here over WGXA. So I'll leave you with the Mother's Day planner as you're getting ready to plan out your weekend. If you have any fun things to celebrate with mom, there you go. You can plan out your weekend. Of course, I will have a full report on WGXA News on Fox 24 at 5. We have our new YouTube streaming that we do at 5:30. And then also I'll be on ABC 16 at 6 for a full weather report. I hope you tune in. We got some fun news and awesome weather to talk about. So I hope to see you then. Otherwise, if I don't talk to you before the weekend's here, Have a great weekend and happy Mother's Day to you. I will see you all later.